In this video, we're going to look at some circle revision questions again. You've probably looked at the first video already. When the circle equation is given in this format, the center, we just have to change the signs inside the brackets, and r squared is equal to the right hand side. So the center here is plus h minus 3, and the radius is the square root of 12. You could change the square root of 12 into 2 root 3 if you so wish. And then we're told that the perpendicular distance from this line to the center is 5. So write down your A, B, C, X and Y to eliminate error. A is the number in front of X, which is 1. B is minus 4. C is 7. And X is the center. The distance is to the center, so X is H. And Y is minus 3. The formula for perpendicular distance: ax1 plus by1 plus c, the absolute value of, that's why we have two possible solutions, over the square root of a squared plus b squared. That's going to give a times x, which is 1 times h, or just h, b times y, minus 4 by minus 3 plus 12, plus c, which is 7 all over the square root of a squared plus b squared. You could do this in one step if you want. Square root of 1 squared plus 4 squared is going to be the square root of 17. That's going to be equal to 5. Just looking at the answer here in third form. So we have h plus 19 inside. That's going to be equal to 5 root 17. Or h plus 19 will be equal to minus 5 root 17. So first answer, h is equal to 5 root 17 minus 19, and h is equal to minus 5 root 17 minus 19. These are the two possible answers. In this question, we're told the circle S here passes through the 3 points as given. One of them has an x and a y. The other two have both of a in them. If you know your geometry, the perpendicular bisector of a chord goes through the center. So the center approximately here has to be the midpoint. It goes from 3 down to minus 5. So the midpoint of this will be down 4. So minus 1 will be the midpoint. And that will be the y value. So let's call it x minus 1 for the center. And if we fill this into our formula for a circle, we're going to have, well, because I have x already, I'll call it h. So x minus h to be squared plus y plus 1 to be squared is equal to r squared, and r is root 20, so r squared is going to be 20. So we have 3 unknowns here, our x, our h and our y, so we need to get it down to one unknown, and this is where the 0.81 will help. Putting 8 in for x, we get 8 minus h to be squared. Putting 1 in for y, we get 1 plus 1 to be squared equals 20. So multiplying it out, 64 minus 16h plus h squared plus 4, this guy's going to be 2 squared, minus 20 is equal to 0. So we're going to get h squared minus 16h, 64, 68, 48, plus 48 is equal to 0. We're just asked to find the equation of circle S, so one of these values in the quadratic can't work, so h by h, 48, 12 by 4 will give me 16 if we add them together, 12 and 4, both minuses, so h is either equal to 4 or 12. Okay, which one doesn't work? I think obviously it's 12, because it has to be, with x being 8 here, the answer has to be less than 8 for the center, so the only one is 4, so not 12, 4. So the center is 4 minus 1, and the radius is root 20. So the equation of this circle is going to be x minus 4 to be squared plus y plus 1 to be squared equals r squared, which is 20. Part C, Ava is looking at tiling the inside of the unit circle. We have the equation of the unit circle here. You can see the radius is equal to 1. Coming across to P, which is in the question, P would have to be minus 1 and 0. And we're told the diagram on the right, not the scale, shows the circle C and another circle S, this circle S here. And we're given some information that P and Q are both on the circle, are on both circles. And Ava wants to find the equation of circle S. QOP is 45 degrees. Show that Q has these coordinates. Okay, QOP is 45, so this one here has to be 135. So any point on the unit circle is r cos A, the angle being starting at this point till we get to the diagonal, and r sin A. Or in this case is 1, so we have 1 by the cos of 135 and 1 by the sine of 135, and that's going to give minus 1 over root 2 plus 1 over root 2. Not too bad if you know your unit circle and your trig here. So P and Q, we're told in the next part that P lies on the x-axis. Well, we know that we've written it down as minus 1, 0. The center of the circle S is a tangent at the point P. Lies on the tangent at the point P. Well, here's the tangent at the point P. That's the line x is equal to minus 1. So the center of this circle has an x value of minus 1. We don't know the y value yet. And it also is on a tangent to C at the point Q. So the tangent that goes this way. So the point of intersection here we're looking for. So there's a couple of ways to do it. If we take this triangle here, we can get the slope of the red line and the tangent will be perpendicular to it. So this triangle and this tangent are perpendicular to the diagonal of the triangle. So in that triangle we have the 1 over root 2. Just taking length, 1 over root 2 and 1 over root 2. So the slope of this line, we know it's going to be 1 with the angle being 45. So m is equal to 1 over root 2 divided by the same thing. So m is equal to 1. So perpendicular m is equal to minus 1. So the equation of the black tangent y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1 will be y minus the point on the circle we have above here, Q, y minus 1 over root 2 is equal to m minus 1. No, sorry, minus 1 was the original slope. I'm just checking here. Minus 1 is the original slope. Plus 1 is the new slope. Just identifying that that has a negative slope in there. 1 times x minus, and it's minus 1 over root 2. So if we multiply this out, we get y minus 1 over root 2 equals x plus 1 over root 2. So we're looking for the y coordinate. Y is going to be equal to x plus 1 over root 2 plus 1 over root 2 is 2 over root 2. The calculator gets rid of the third on the bottom by multiplying by root 2 over root 2, which is 2 root 2 over 2, which is just going to be equal to root 2. Root 2. So y then becomes y is equal to x plus root 2, and x is minus 1 in the equation of this line, because this line is on the center. So y is equal to minus 1 plus root 2. So if we go from, rub the lines out, if we go from, so we have our values, we have the center here, and the length of that radius is just going to be the y value itself, because we're going up y. So the center is minus 1. Here the y value is minus 1 plus root 2. So we need the equation of the circle now, just the center and the radius. So we have the center and the radius is equal to the y value, minus 1 plus root 2. So a little bit awkward just with the numbers involved, but the maths involved, not too bad. Here we have another circle given in the usual format. To find the center and the radius, how do we get x squared and minus 10x? Well, we'd have to have x minus 5 to be squared, bringing in plus 25 that we don't want. How do we get y squared and 2y? It's going to be y plus 1 to be squared, bringing in a plus 1 that we don't want. We want minus 26, so we have to take away 26 to balance out the 26 that we don't want, and we have the other minus 26. So we're going to have x minus 5 to be squared plus y plus 1 to be squared is equal to 52. So the center is 5 minus 1, and the radius is the square root of the right hand side, the square root of 52, which is root 4 by root 13, which is 2 root 13. Then we're told the line 2x minus 3y plus c is a tangent to the circle S. Find two possible values of c. So if we have a circle and a tangent, the distance from the tangent to the center is the radius. So we have perpendicular distance again, a being 2, b being minus 3, and c being c, and the center is 5 minus 1, so x is 5, y minus 1. So we've written the formula out before, we'll do it again. Good maths to write it down. ax1 plus by1 plus c all over the square root of a squared plus b squared. So a2 by x, which is 5, so 10. b times y minus 3 by minus 1 plus 3 plus c divided by the square root of a squared is 4 and b squared is 9, so the square root of 13 is equal to 2 root 13, the length of the radius. So we're going to get 13 plus c is equal to 2 by root 13 is 26, or 13 plus c is equal to minus 26. So c will be 13 here, or c will be minus 26 minus 13 minus 39 over here. In this question we're told the line x is equal to 2. Okay, let's say this is the line x is equal to 2, and the line x is equal to 8. This one here are tangents to the circle, so the circle is going to look something along these lines, meaning that the center of this circle is going to be halfway between the two tangents, halfway between 2 and 8. 8 plus 2 over 2 is 10 over 2, which is 5. So the x value will be 5. And we're told that the center is on this line, so we have the x value. So 3 5s 15 plus 4y minus 7 is equal to 0, so equals 7. So 4y will be equal to 7 minus 15, which is minus 8. So y is equal to minus 2. So we have the center quite quickly. And then the radius is just the distance from here to here. From 5 to 8 is 3. And from 5 to 2 is also 3. So we have the center and we have the radius. The equation of this circle, x minus 5 to be squared plus y plus 2 to be squared is equal to r squared, which will be 9. We have another question where we're given the same kind of format, so let's manipulate it a little bit to get it, make it a little bit easier. X squared and minus 2x is x minus 1 squared. We've brought in a 1 that we don't want. Y squared and 8y is y plus 4 to be squared. We've brought in a 16 that we don't want, so we'd have to balance it off by taking away 16, and then the plus k is already there, equals 0. So we're going to get x minus 1 squared plus y plus 4 squared is equal to 16 minus k on the other side. We're told that the radius is 5 root 3, So this guy is r squared. If r is equal to 5 root 3, r squared is going to be 5 squared, 25 by 3, 75. So 16 minus k is equal to 75. Sorry, not 16, 17, obviously 16 and 1, 17. Just looking back on your question always, 17 minus k is 75. So k, bringing it to the right, and 75 to the left, we'll leave k as minus 58 for part A. Part B, we have the circle equation here, and it has a tangent at this point. Find the slope of the tangent. Okay, well, let's do a little diagram. We have a circle and a tangent, and the perpendicular to that will go through the center, which is going to be 5 minus 2. We're given this point, 9 minus 4. Now 5 minus 2, 9 minus 4 will be in this direction and down. So just be careful. I might just do that actually, just change the position of 9 minus 4 somewhere over here. So this is the tangent over here somewhere, 9 minus 4. So the slope between the center and the tangent is negative. So let's just find that slope first. We're asked for the slope of the tangent, which is going to be positive. So m is equal to the change in y, minus 2 to minus 4 is 2, over the change in x, 5 to 9 is 4. So this is my negative slope, minus 1 over 2. So the perpendicular slope is equal to 2 over 1, which is equal to 2. The last question in the last few years that I'm going to look at in this video is this one. We have two circles which have x-axis and y-axis as tangents. So let's say this is the center of the big circle. We're going out the same distance as the radius, so the x portion of the center is the same as the radius, and the y value is going down, so minus r. So we have kind of the same variable here, r and minus r. So we also have the point 1 minus 8 is on this circle. So if we had the point as the center was 5, 2, we'd have x minus 5 to be squared. So here we have x minus r to be squared, r and minus r squared, plus y minus minus r to be squared is equal to r squared. And again, like earlier, we have three unknown variables, x, r, and y, but we have a value here for x and y. So we're going to end up an equation in r squared. There will be two solutions, which will be the two radiuses. So we're going to get x is 1, so 1 minus r to be squared, plus excuse me, y is minus 8 plus r to be squared is equal to r squared. This will give 1 minus 2r plus r squared, plus 64 minus 16r plus r squared, and I'll bring across the other r squared, minus r squared will be equal to 0. So these two cancel, leaving me with r squared minus 18r minus 2 minus 16, and then 1 and 64 is all that's left, plus 65. Factors are jumping out at me here, 13 and 5, or by r equals 0, 13 and 5 minus minus, so we have our two radiuses. The big one is 13 and the small one is 5, and the centers we said was x was positive, y was negative, and this one will be 5 minus 5. And we asked for the equations of each of these circles. So x minus 13 squared plus y plus 13 squared equals r squared 169. And then we have x minus 5 squared plus y plus 5 squared equals 25. So have fun practicing these questions, become a master at the circle.